Yeah, you're hitting me about 30 plus. I can hear you no problem over everybody.
Yeah, 38 sounds like normal. Fine. After Texas out, man. Coming into Texas for sure. Have a good day. I'll tell you for sure.
Here at 11 with the Houston Police Sergeant Charles of Crimes Against Children. Assault of a child and indecency with a child. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Cerrone. And I'm Lisa Hernandez. We're learning more about the Charles of Crimes. Keep your name straight. From downtown Houston.
Well, good evening, everybody. I am the 1122 Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy Television. I will be your host for however long the Skip is there, or if anybody wants to come up on panel.
Hey, 27 Papa Gunto, where you at? Great Zero, High Sierras, NorCal. 747 Eugene. We better get up in here and make a little bit of DX noise. Hello, Southern California 951. Here 754, I think it is, out in the sand pile. Not too sure on the numbers there. Sand pile, Southern Cal 951. Okay, 714, man. Sorry I couldn't make that number out the first time there. I didn't even have my volume up real loud. I was trying, man. I'm trying. Taking a good trip down there off the sand pile, 714.
The 1122 Wingnut on the side.
CQDX, 79, a Mobile, big on and away. Let me see if we still got any condition. 1, 2, 732 from Maui. 732 out there in Maui, making a good trip into Southern California, 951. 520 Ontario, Canada. That's a really good sounding station. 30.6, ricochet away from Sacramento. 732 from Maui.
Aloha, the 1122 Wingnut on the side.
Check on out. Appreciate you coming back, man. We thought we wasn't making no trip out here. What's going on out there with the gas station there? But you got a gas station right now, man. There's a whole bunch of jibber jabber in there until you start keying off. Take these out there, 292. Always a pleasure out there, brother. 73, God bless. 1212. Hey, I've been trying to make the meter go off. So I told my buddy out there, I'm going to start going 1212 to see if we can get the watts out. Take these out there, 292. Aloha. Hello. This radio working. Check on out. You got that right. You got the condition maker in your back pocket. We'll put it on you later. 747, you're a little off frequency. No, you're on frequency. I'm on frequency. I'm on frequency.
No, I'm off frequency.
This is Maui. Look at the corner gold.
I'm frequently off frequency because everybody's on a frequency. I'm not on the frequency of their frequency.
Molly trying to wave at you. Happy 16th for the weekend out there. Enjoy. Hammer down, checker. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hey, guess what, everybody? The 1122 Wingnut Radio. You're on the side.
1, 2, 1, 2, checker. 1, 2, 1, 2. Secure the X. 505, San Diego, Southern California. Very hello, 505, San Diego, California, USA. All right, man, TD's out there, 442. Patrick, God bless, man. 1, 2, 1, 2. Try to get as many walks out there. We're gonna use it on you, 442. Take you out there. 442 in this Duckmobile. 8732, heard you in there too, bro. Secure the X. 505, 505, San Diego, Southern California. 505, San Diego.
392.51, Central Oregon.
Get that, my friend. How you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'll be rocking it out here on 505, San Diego, California. All right, there, Rod. Take it easy out there, brother. We'll put it on you later. Out here on the best side of 1, 2, 1, 2. It's working.
No, it's not.
Get that, my friend. 41. 442 with the shotgun. Top of the day right there, T442. I heard you there. Good weekend, and we'll catch you on the airwaves here. 951 out here by the March Air Force Base in Cal. 241. Great girl. Thank you. 241, Gray Squirrel. 79 with that big shocker wave right back. Southern Cal 951. Hello. in the Golden State. Okay, 2749. Somebody coming back from another weekend station here in Oregon. 523. Yeah, no, I didn't like that other radio either. Then that thing was stingy on me. That QC. I heard somebody call 386 out there. I heard somebody call 386. 386. Yeah, mobile, Southern California. Stay in. I'm like, yeah, QC, man, QC. Check. They used to know. So sometimes they're mobile. I mean, man, I wish I had been here for a while there. I'm 101. Check. Real nice. I'm gonna check out. Okay. Shoot, you know them things all. There ain't no nices no more. That's yourself. I must get up. 386 home. I can't fix no radios, man. I try to fix like regular amplifiers, you know, the 11 meter amplifiers. And I would say ain't so great at that neither, that QSL. Hey, 4007, you know there? You're sounding good, Roger. That go there, but like the electric utility companies do. I can do all of that. That's not my forte, that yourself.
386, Southern California, standing by.
Yeah, Roger on that, Roger.
This is the 1122 Wingnut out here in the Panhandle, Florida. I am not standing by. I'm actually sitting down.
You know, shipping is expensive out here. You know, it's a whole different concept, you know, so running electrical, we always walk into power. And it seems like when you mess with like electronics, they're moving the ground around like this. He'll never miss it, man. He can do that stuff, man. We get help many times. We used to do it, but nowadays, man, he'll never mess with it. He's retired, like this, huh?
241. How about out there, DX Land, 333, Southern California is trying. Back to you.
Good like always.
Like the 333, 199, Florida. Somebody's calling out home, bring it back. Yeah. 241, 241, great. John. Good as usual.
757-1212, we waving at ya.
47, and 43, and 43, Gray Squirrel, NorCal.
Howdy, man. Texas Radio is found at coastline of Dynamo. 136. Man, appreciate the wave right back. Sure to you. Time, man. Aloha.
Hawaii stations out there, 333 Southern California is trying. Hey, 732, what island are you on? How about that 732 Hawaii station? What island are you on? 333.
He disappeared. Police chief in Pennsylvania has been found guilty for raping a child. There's a warning that the details in this case are disturbing. According to Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro, Brett Getz, the former Williamsport chief of police, was found guilty after he was originally charged in March of 2019. According to Shapiro, the assault started with the child, who was 4 years old, and continued regularly for 7 years.
I looked on you. You're not that far away.
Yeah, everything just dropped down. Hawaii, 2295 Southern California. On the same banner and other channels, following someone that's doing a video gate and then watching what's going on Chromebook. So A639, I was certain here, but just not consistently. A639, could you go down to channel 36? $23.17 with 639. That's good here. Yeah, so that's great. I heard you say that your antenna's up in the 50 feet, and I'm about that minus. So that in your good equipment, I looked at images of your 857, I guess you said you had. That's a nice transceiver. That's like a radio or a portable radio, portable field radio. Those are nice.
I love it. I opened her up and got her open wide band so that way I can operate the here on the left meters as well. And I love it. I got a wire hooked up to the thing. So, come on. Yes, sir.
It was king. Ready before we start. Yeah, I'm on this Galaxy 929. Check it, check it.
Some of them come in there. Sound like they run out there in your driveway. But I talk on the other end of the road.
Yeah, copy. Everybody else must be sandbagging or eating dinner. Sounds good. They must have got the chicken that you sent over.
Danger checking in. Danger's on the West Coast checking in.
Hey, Dangerous. I love the way you check in. Hello, Dangerous on the West Coast. Hey, Dangerous. Mad Max. Bye-bye.
Well, on that, Mad Max. Sounding good around Long Beach, California. Mad Max. Danger said, kill me out.
Here I come, Dangerous. Dangerous. Here I come, just like that. Take care, Dangerous. Welcome to the weekend. Mad Max waving bye-bye.
Yeah, Roger, Mad Max. Taking me to take care. Mad Max. Danger's on the west side. Go.
Let's play this out. Come on, right back.
What come we? Oh, good uncle and daddy going home. Ain't no easy coming no dead key. Ain't no easy tuning up coming no dead key. It ain't helping nothing. No strange, still looking all kinds of another nature we got, that's for sure, my friend. Ain't nothing but number 8 all up in my radio. TGIF, welcome to the weekend. Number 8 is no reflect. Your West Side Station, 188 Smokies, getting on down.
I keep this 878D, Hello, Joey. Hello, Joey. Mad Mansion Island. Hello, Joey. Mad Mansion Island. Bye. Okay, man, I'm waiting to get back, man. Welcome to the weekend. See here? Mad Mansion Island. Bye-bye.
To get done, you said you made almost 200 contacts today, so that must have been really good for just one's radio. Our radio, what's the right word? Reward or payoff is what I'm trying to get to. So recently I have bought new feed lines, put up a new antenna, and did it all by myself when it was really hot this summer, and it was a lot of work. So after getting done with it all, getting set up, I kind of have a different outlook of my hobby. Back to you.
Yeah, Channel 6 and 11 are the Super Bowl on AM. When conditions are there, 6 and 11 are usually always busy. Skip's dying down, though. So, scan the band real quick.
Charge good for that.
Wow.
Updated, or can't be updated. Yeah, that's what I bought these last 2 trips from Radio Shack when they made it 800 to 850. And, yeah. For years, they'll come back. Well, they want you to buy a new scanner, and they're almost $600. Absolutely, I know exactly what you're talking about. He said he's sitting way over there eating. You guys said he had overworked, but
Well, Skip's dying out. There ain't really much on the radio. But let's see here. I'll put the link in if anybody wants to come up.
Great is the newer feed line they make now has, and I'm glad I bought it. Waited for, like someone to send it back. So I got 75 foot of a good 400 feed line, and I bought another hunk of it and made big, quick, long jumpers with good connectors on it. So and decreased my input and,
What's up? Oh man, what's going on?
more efficient. Haven't had all my equipment, everything at one time working well for me.
What channel are you on?
At the moment, I'm on lower sideband channel 36 at the moment.
Oh, lower sideband?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not picking it up.
I think the people I'm hearing right now are like closer to California.
But I'm picking up AM and just sideband USB.
Yeah, that's upper sideband. USB, LSB is lower sideband.
Yeah. Let's see, I got 31. I'm only got 27 megahertz right now on that antenna.
Okay.
I'm only pushing 12 watts through the system.
Right on. I mean, you can always build from that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Hey, Snook.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, usually channel 6 on AM. If there's any conditions, there'll be somebody talking on that.
oh, yeah. Well, 6,
and 11 is another one. So
yeah, 6 and 11. Why do the Mexicans talk a lot on the damn emergency channels?
yeah, Channel 9. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's okay, man. I think you still have the capability on that radio to even go in between channels,
Yeah.
get some of those hidden ones. So
Heck,
yeah,
even on my handheld, I'm picking up different channels. When I have the main on.
I think there's a way. Now thinking about it, you can look it up on YouTube where you can expand the frequency range on that thing. I think well, you can at least get like into the free band. I think like you can expand it where you can get above channel 40 and below channel 1 if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna go look that in the manual real quick.
I can't remember. It may or may not be manual. I don't know.
What do you think about them dummy loads?
Well, that's only if you're testing your equipment, man. Honestly. So, like for instance, if you were wanting to test your equipment, like with all your equipment in line and pushing wattage out and all that stuff, and you wanted to like put like a tone, like a like a tone generator where you put a signal out,
Yeah.
instead of actually broadcasting that out in an antenna, you put it into a dummy load, um, and it won't be broadcasted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what a dummy load's for.
Okay. Okay, look at that.
Because yeah, the way a dummy load, what a dummy load works, the way it works, is basically a huge, either a really big resistor or a bunch of resistors, and it will withstand the amount of wattage that you're putting into it, depending on how much that thing is beefed up. So like for instance, if you want to like try an amp out and you wanted to like see how much wattage you're pushing out and all that stuff, and see if the signal's clear and all that stuff. You don't even have it hooked up to an antenna. You have it hooked up to the dummy load. So everything that you're pushing out goes straight into a dummy load, and it's not being broadcasted. That's the main thing, and it'll absorb all that wattage that you're pushing out, and that's what it's for. It's like testing your equipment, so you're not like going on air, going audio, and you start whistling into it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've been really messing with it the last couple days because I had the Bearcat for a while, and I've been waiting for this damn antenna
Yeah.
because I just wanted to see, just to mess with it, get kind of used to it. But
Yeah.
like, how,
Yeah.
how many watts do you recommend, like to push out through your antenna?
It depends on what your antenna is rated for. I mean, some antennas are rated for a lot more wattage than others. You know what I mean? Um,
Okay, so like I kind of want to do this on a budget, but I know you kind of can't really do it on a budget. Yeah, I know I'm being funny.
no, it's like
Um,
it's kind of like CB is almost like can't be on a budget or too constantly buying. Uh, but yeah. Well, I mean, just start out. There's a lot of things that you can do just to start out. It'll get you on the air and all that stuff. And I can't remember what kind of antenna did you get.
do. I don't even know where the deal is at the moment.
Is it like a vehicle type antenna, or is it like a base station type antenna,
It's
like
a
a house?
vehicle type antenna.
Okay,
It's only like a 27 to, I think it's like a 27 to 30 something, uh,
megahertz.
yeah, megahertz.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing
all right.
major.
I'll tell you this. When it comes down to a vehicle type of a like, how do you got it mounted up on that pole that you said?
Yeah.
Is that what you got? Okay. You have to ground it down. You have to ground it out. You have to ground it. Like for instance, like if you're like the antenna is probably mounted onto the like on a mount to the pole, right? Is the pole
Yeah.
metal? Is the pole metal all the way down?
Yeah.
Okay, ground that pole out. Like to a ground, like a ground source or something. Like for instance, if you got like your ground for your house, where all your electrical panel stuff is.
Yeah.
If you got that close by, ground that pole to that. Just take a wire and attach it to that pole to the ground. Um, the way vehicle antenna works is it uses all your metal in the body of the car as the ground plane. All right, that becomes the ground plane of the antenna. All right, there's the difference
Okay.
between like a base antenna and a car antenna. A base antenna, it's already got a ground plane. For instance, like a regular ground plane antenna that sticks straight up in the air. A lot of times I have radials, like antenna radials, that will come out vertically to that or horizontally to that, and that'll be your ground plane. So technically, the antenna has the ground plane all in one. Vehicle antenna uses all those sheet metal, all that stuff as the ground plane. It's kind of the same thing. It's like if you think about it electrically, the ground is actually the more important part of the whole electrical circuit. All right. So
Yeah.
like even your car, like your car battery, blah blah blah, everything has to be grounded. And that's like the biggest thing when it comes down to it is just grounding. You can never overdo it. You can never overdo it. What's up, Indy? Good to see you, girl. And it's an important thing actually. It helps out with your transmission and your receive a lot. You know, I can
Okay.
even give you tips on how to actually try and put a ground plane on that antenna that you got. And all you need is like some copper wire. That's all you need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you talking about from actually going from the antenna to the bottom of the actual antenna? Like from the base of the antenna where it goes into the base?
Okay, like for instance, all right, all right, now, do you got like a regular like mirror mount type bracket that's holding the antenna on the pole? Is this something like that?
No,
Like
it's
you would?
magnet.
Oh, it's a magnet mount type antenna.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. On top of a pole?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's all right. All right. Uh, and it stays up there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, even then, like for instance, all right, because that's what I was like. If it's a magnet mount type of antenna, wow. Uh, hmm. All right, check this out. I'll even give you like was this? I don't know what they cost nowadays. Now think about it for like a regular base station type antenna too. Like somewhere like down the line, if you ever wanted to upgrade. Um,
Yeah.
I can't remember what they cost now. They used to call them Antron 99. They used to call them that. Um, but they're like the bare bones type of antenna. I think they call them a solarcron nowadays. I think, but all it is like a fiberglass stick with a copper wire in the middle of it. That's all it is. Is basically that's all it is. And but it's like 102 inches long, or actually it's longer than that. Actually, um, I think it's like was it double that or triple that length? Oh, UK Transparency. What's up, bud? Man, good to see you in. But Yeah, that would be the main thing when it comes down to it. Like I said, you cannot overdo it either. I mean, yeah, grounding, you have to ground that antenna out, and you'll get better performance out of it. Also, like when it comes down to SWR, so where are you sitting on SWR? Do you know?
Uh-uh.
Ooh, aha. You're gonna have to check that shit. It'll probably tell you in the manual how to check your SWR. It'll probably. And SWR, for those that don't know, that actually stands for signal wave ratio. And
Yeah.
the lower the number, you want it to have about a 1. That's about like what you really, really want it. You know what I mean? That's the best. But the higher you get up, the more problems you end up having. So you want it to have it the lowest you can when it comes down to it.
Yeah, because of like the interference of others.
Well, imagine it like this, kind of like a bottleneck. The higher the SWR, the more tight the bottleneck. So that's your signal trying to get through that bottleneck, and the tighter it is, it more contracts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the lower the SWR, the more that bottleneck widens open. You know what I mean? It makes it more freer to pass through. You know?
So what would you like? I like. I know I'm like being kind of stupid with this whole CB situation, but
It's all right.
I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to get going.
Yeah.
Um, but I kind of want to do something different, and I kind of just want to make something that was meant for something else, like what you said with the big, like do the big whip poles. I think that
Well,
would be
yeah.
kind
I
of
mean,
cool.
down the line. I mean, you. I mean, especially if you start really getting into it, you want to talk on it a lot or whatever, and you start talking to other people like a lot or whatever, you'll end up wanting to do it eventually. I mean, I'm telling you, because um, I a magnet mount on top of a pole was not the ideal. It's not the ideal way to go. Put it out. It'll work. It'll probably work. I'm not sure how much of a range you got going, out, transmission out, but it'll
I've
work.
actually reached. I'm in Central Texas, and I reached people from Mobile. I reached people to what was it, Kingston.
Right. That's probably when all that fucking skip is running in real good. You don't really need much, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it only does that when it's like skip conditions, nice, clear, sunny.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird, man. It's weird how conditions move around the planet. It's really weird, and because I've observed it happening for a while, and it's just weird how it happens sometimes. Like I mean, I got a buddy of mine that I used, talk pretty much all the time. He's like, I don't know, about 30 or 40 minutes drive away from me. You know what I mean? So on a normal basis, I can hear him just fine. And he's loud. I can hear him fine. But there have been times where conditions will change, where it'll a wall will just be right between us, and he'll drop down to where I can't hear him at all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's weird how it happens. I mean, it's not all the time, but it does happen. And it's just crazy how it moves around. And if you sit there, like for instance, I've sat for hours and stuff like that, listening and talking or whatever on the radio, but you can hear it moving. Moving from different geographic locations. You can hear it actually moving. It's like you can hear some people really loud, and then next thing you know, the conditions start moving. They'll drop out. Others will get louder, and you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
What antenna do you have on magnet mount? I want to. I'm guessing it's probably. I don't know what he.
It's only a 27 megahertz. Like that's the only thing it's running. That's what it's showing me through the
Yeah, I know, but
aircraft.
what do you know? What type brand antenna it is?
Uh,
Is it like a Mako? Or no, not Mako. Like a what do you call it?
It's an Amazon Chinaman probably one. Like I'm trying to find the dang bag. Okay.
Nagoya, huh? Yeah, I know what a Nagoya is. That's a Chinese brand. You see those a lot of times on those. I've got a Nagoya type brand, but I used it for my little Bofang radio.
Yeah.
I didn't know they made stuff for 11 meters. I didn't know they did that. Right on.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of stuff. Now I'll give you there's what is it? Uh, there's this one site that you can probably go to. I mean, I've bought stuff from them too, and but there's a lot of other different stuff. But the most common place that you can go, like you can go on the internet, go to was it Copper Electronics? Copper Electronics.
Copper Electronics.
Yep. And you'll be able to find all kinds of stuff when it comes down, like antennas, coax, sometimes radios, microphones, like different types of stuff. Like if you were wanting to like make coax up the different ends, the like the PL 259s and all that other shit.
Yeah. See that Bearcat that I got the Bearcat 980 SSB
Yeah.
and I only paid $150 for it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I know a guy that's got one of those, and it's got good audio that comes out of it, and it's like it's not that expensive, so it's like a pretty good starter type of thing, in my opinion. Um, and See, that's the thing. Like even UK transfers, like PL 259s. See, that's another thing too. I used to have like Radio Shack type, for instance, but like I used to have a couple of actually like brick and mortar stores that I could go to and get parts like that, and that's just like going away. You almost have to order everything off the fucking internet, which sucks. I like
Oh
going
yeah.
to a place. I like going to a place and getting all the like bits and pieces that I need, or like if they sell radios, I like to sit there and actually pick it up and look at it. I don't like,
Yeah, Radio Shack was actually pretty fun.
yeah, in the early days, yeah. See, that was their base customers, like the radio and the hobbyist and stuff, electronic hobbyists and stuff like that. And then they switched over to like RC cars and fucking cell phones and shit. And then it just died out. You know what I mean? And it's like, they totally ignored their base customer and stuff like that, and that's why they went out of business, in my opinion.
Yeah. That was
I mean,
nice. I like Radio Shack though.
if I had the money, and to open up my own business type of thing, I'd open a business where it would be like a radio shop where I can get radios and amplifiers and stuff like that repaired. I can also sell radios and equipment, all that stuff's coax, all the different bits and pieces or whatever, even down to like electronics in the board, and then also make it a place where you can come and have coffee and sit down and chat, and maybe even get a donut or something. I think that'd be
Heck
cool. But maybe even a slice of pizza or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
I think it'd be kind of neat. There's those type of places are really hard to find anymore. There used to be places like that around here, for instance, but
It is hard to find mom and pop food places.
Yeah, I mean, and it sucks because I like going to a store and browsing and looking and whatever, and maybe I'll buy something, maybe I won't, whatever. But I don't like doing it on the internet. I don't really even buy anything on the internet. I just kind of, if I do want to buy something, I'll get somebody to order it for me, and I'll whatever.
Well, there, the internet has the goods and the bad.
And convenient. Yeah, it's convenient.
Not really.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a lot more convenient to go out there and get the product that you need than it is to wait a week and a half for it.
Right.
But sometimes if you do, and if you're looking for a certain product and you can shop around for that certain product, you can usually get it cheap. But you just gotta do a little digging.
Dude, that would be cool. Like Preppers R Us.
Yeah.
That would be a cool store. I would, man. That'd be like a kid in a candy store going in a place like that. You
Heck
know,
yeah.
like a camping, army surplus, like electronics, all in one. All kinds of shit like that. Preppers are us, survivalist type stuff. That'd be awesome. Actually, I would totally go into a store like that.
Oh yeah.
Get everything I need. Like I can get rounds for my shotgun, arrow for my bow, and fishing gear, and radio. And
Yeah, because you're when you say preppers are us, man, you're like covering a lot of different fields.
yeah, yeah, no kidding. I mean, that would be a badass store. That'd be better than Bass Pro Shop, man.
See, I'm fixing to dabble into making rigs and selling them, like kind of starting a business off of it.
Like, what kind of rigs are you talking about?
Like your catfish rigs, circle hooks,
Okay,
nail tide,
okay.
some professional looking stuff.
I know a guy. I used to know a guy. I don't know him anymore. I don't keep in contact. But he ties his own flies. I think that's a pretty cool,
Yeah,
talent.
like I'm talking about rigs like that. Like I've already tied some up.
Right, right.
I could sell 3 in a bag for about $9 and outdo the competitor.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, you know,
It'll
I
give me
don't know.
something to do.
Yeah, that definitely works. Whatever kind of brings in something. I mean, put it this way, man. Until I got this gig that I'm working on right now, for 2 years when all this crap in the arms started, I was just basically doing my own thing. Kind of like making knives and metal artwork and other stuff, jewelry and stuff like that. And I was just doing that, and that was keeping everything paid off for the past 2 years. Uh,
Oh yeah, changing out engines and cars. I've seen those videos.
yeah, I
That's
just like,
cool stuff though. Like that's always good to know. Mechanics is really good to know,
yeah,
but it's a pain in the butt.
yeah. There's some stuff, man. It's just like I don't want to mess with anymore, man. There's some things it's just like I don't even want to deal with it because I know how much difficulty it is. Like there's some vehicles out there. I'll tell you this, me personally. Now there's some vehicles I know how to do it, but there's some out there I know how to do it, but I also know how much work it is, and I'm just like I don't want to do that shit. It's like I gotta tear half the fucking engine apart just to get to this one part. You know what I mean? I hate that. And
Oh, you gotta love Ford. That's all I gotta say.
I hear you. Well, you know, my Dodge is not any better. I got a Dodge van, and it's like the engine's underneath. And basically got that big dog box in the middle. You know,
Hmm.
and that's how you really access the engine is you get inside, take that dog box off, and then get in it. You know, pain in the butt to get anything in there.
Oh yeah. Basically, you got to take the whole front end off of that damn van just to get the engine out.
Yes. 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 It's a pain in the ass. But I don't know.
We put a 460 in a what was it, 84 Econoline van. That was a fun little donut machine.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. Is like, I really, if that's another thing too. I get really, lazy. I guess I don't like crawling underneath the damn car and having very little room in there. I'm like, if I'm going to work on it, man, I need to either have a trench or a lift or something like that, And it's like, I don't like
Yeah.
it. I don't even like crawling underneath that sucker just to change the damn oil. You know what I mean? I hate doing it.
Yeah, you always sitting there
'Cause-
thinking, is today going to be the day this thing comes off the lift?
right. I hear you. Well, I've got two vehicles over there right now. I got a Dodge van and I got an old Pathfinder, and both of them are just sitting there and need stuff done to them. And I don't know. I've also got a motorcycle. It's been sitting for like almost 8-9 years now. Needs work.
Yeah, I don't do that no more.
I'd love to get on my bike again, but it's just I just can't afford to fix it up right at the moment. Or for a while now, I haven't been able to afford it. So I've just been sitting, kind of collecting more and more dirt.
If I lived somewhere where there's not a lot of traffic, then I would ride bike again, but people are too crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't like going downtown down on the beach or nothing. I mean, that's a pain in the ass, man. We got twice a year. We got Thunder Beach, which is like a big motorcycle rally down in Panama City and stuff.
Yeah.
Ah man, I mean, I don't. I might ride when the bike was riding and stuff. I might ride down there, and check out some of the vendors and some of the bands and stuff like that. But other than that, the damn traffic sucks ass. You're like riding your clutch the whole damn time, back, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, all up and down the beach. Yeah, it sucks. But I mean, even that road is kind of like that anyway, even without the damn bike rally. But then you get like hundreds and hundreds of freaking bikes out there at the same time.
We got a 1077.
1077. Holy shit! I'm gonna have to refresh my memory. Hold on a second.
What is a 1077?
$10.77. Negative contact. At least dude. Yeah. See, that's another thing too, man. If you start talking on sideband, you'll start hearing a lot of. You won't hear a lot of the 10 codes. You'll hear more of the Q codes. These all these jackasses.
See, they don't have the Q codes listed. Well,
you can find it on the internet. Trust me. You could just look up like 11 meter CB side, single sideband SSB Q codes. CB radio sideband Q codes. You'll find a list of what they are. Okay, the thing is about Q codes, man, it's just stupid actually, because the whole reason why Q codes were invented in the first place is for Morse code, for a dit dot. All right.
Yeah.
It's so you don't have to actually spell out like a whole sentence. You just use a Q code to say your sentence. It's kind of like a 10 code. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's just that, but that was the whole reason why it was invented. And some people, they don't even know the damn definitions of some of these Q codes, and they use them. They're not even using them right. It's like I don't know. It's stupid. But 10 codes, man, is like there's a lot of these older gentlemen that get on there. They hear 10 codes, man. They're like, go back to the damn channel 19, you damn trucker. You know, it's funny though. I make so many
Interesting.
friends on the radio. I'm so famous. So like that. I make so many friends on the radio. It's funny.
You
I'm
ever
telling you.
talk to a guy named Squirrel?
I don't know.
I've talked to him. And I think he's the one up there in Mobile. Yeah, he's up the one in Mobile,
Like Mobile or Mobile, Alabama.
Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Then this other guy I was talking to was Smoke. This was on AM on 6 though.
Right. Yeah, I don't really talk to a
Um,
whole lot of people out there on shit. I don't. I'll listen to it, but I'm not running really a lot of wattage, so I don't really talk to a lot of people on six. Sometimes it gets really hard to even get a word in.
yeah. How many watts are you pushing through your actual system?
At the moment, probably just out of the radio. At the moment, probably about 40 watt. But
Okay.
uh, that's the only reason I've got it down that low is because my batteries are not all that great right now. So now, if I got a power supply or something like that, I keep me at constant voltage. I can crank it up to about 80 out of the radio itself. Um, but I've modified it honestly, so that's the only reason why I'm able to get what I can get out of it.
Man, that's an expensive radio. I looked at the Strikers, man. That's like
Yeah,
what, $350 radio. More and
yeah,
more.
yeah. There's another one out there. It's that has the same type of audio quality. All right, it's called an Anytone Quad 5, like 5555. It's the same size, box, like the Striker, like I have. It's the same size radio. And then there's another one out there that's actually really small. It's about the size of a freaking ashtray. It's a Quad 6. It's the Anytone Quad 6. That one's actually pretty nice. I had one at one time, and but I traded it. But I'll probably eventually get another one because it's small enough to fit in my car, and because I don't really have a lot of space to put a radio in the car,
Yeah.
and it's like a really compact, and it's got good audio quality. It's got good circuitry on the inside of it. I mean, you know, it's a good one on that end, but they're pricey. They get up there in price. They used to be cheaper. Put it this way: about 3-4 years ago, a lot of that shit was a lot cheaper. Um, but because like the one I have, the Striker I have, is when they first came out. It's about year and a half, almost 2 years after they first came out with that radio is when I got that, and so it was still kind of new at the time, but it's had upgrades since then. And UK transparency, yeah, right on, man. Yeah, see, you can spend a lot of money on radio equipment, microphones, and all that other stuff. There's a lot of really good stuff. I mean, like for instance, I think brand new. I got another one. It's what is it? ICOM. It's an ICOM radio. It's a ham radio, but I want to say it's like a $600 or $800 radio, brand new.
Yeah.
But I didn't get it brand new. I got it used and I got it in a trade. So
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
well, yeah. I mean, I've got. All right, put it this way: when it comes down to the frequency spectrum, I've got pretty much what I need to actually get to anywhere I want to. Basically, because with the ICOM, I can reach majority of the spectrum right there, of all the bandwidths or whatever. And then I've got a little Bofeng, so I can get 2 meter and 440 centimeter, or the 440 band. And I don't know. I think I can get 6 meter on that ICOM. I can't remember. But then I also got the Striker where I can get, 10, 11, 12 meters on that. And so I can get pretty much. I can hear, and the only thing is, it's like I only got an antenna that it works with 10 and 11, 12 meters. That's all it will work with. And but I can listen to whatever I want to on any of my radios. I just can't transmit except for on 11 mostly. So
Yeah.
it's your birthday, Snook. Well, happy birthday. You're a Scorpio.
Oh no.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a Scorpio sign. And you're right next to me because I'm a Sagittarius, actually. So
I'm a Leo.
no wonder Snook is so frisky. Yeah.
So that wouldn't be that bad of a deal. So I'm sitting there thinking 40 watts through the system, and then like a home based speaker. I mean, not speaker, but antenna.
Oh yeah. Like I said, if you ever get the chance, just browse around copper electronics, like on like antennas and radios and all that stuff. Just browse around and see what they got. I mean, that would be the most basic thing to go to. But there's other sites out there actually where you can find stuff.
Oh yeah.
But um, I don't know. There are a lot of stuff actually that's actually marketed for the European countries, and you won't really see it marketed for the U.S. So you can also keep your eyes open for European stuff. That's marketed for the European stuff. Well, see, that's
Yeah.
another thing. UK transparency. I mean, that's something that even Sunfish may be able to do is just do a wire antenna instead, or whatever. It'd be the cheaper route on that end of it.
Do like a big long whip antenna.
Well, probably more like a dipole would probably be the best way, probably. Or a long wire antenna is just a single fed, just basically, have your coax out to a piece of wire and you have it a certain length. You have to have it a certain length and then just stretch that out, or do a dipole. Same thing. It's just two pieces of wire stick in opposite directions.
Yeah.
And those are actually not that hard to make either. You can do it on the cheap on that end of it. And I know a guy that's got a dipole wire antenna, and he's got it looking like a upside down V shape. All right, and the way he's got it set up on a pole, and he's just got it like a T type piece of PVC pipe going in like a T shape across the pole that he's got sticking up, and then the wires come down to that piece of PVC down like a 45-degree angle almost, and it makes like an upside down V looking shape, or like a pyramid shape, and that's all he's got, and that thing works great. And it's all it is just cut, a piece of wire. That's all it really is. The only thing is, too, for me personally, in my location, I'm in like the lightning capital of the world. So copper wire is not necessarily good for me because lightning likes copper.
Oh yeah.
But,
I have to look into making something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
there's a lot of different ways of and a lot of different. I mean, there's a lot of different ways of making antennas actually. Just straight up wire antennas. There's this thing called a magnetic loop antenna. It's just really cool antenna. It actually doesn't take up a lot of space either. But
See, that's the cool thing about my shop in here. It has a tin roof.
Right. Well, if it's got a tin roof, you should put the magnet mount right there on that tin.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you got a magnet mount, you should just stick it right on the top of that tin, like on the top of that tin roof, and like magnetize it to that top of that roof. That'd
Well,
be the best thing.
so I took that pole from over there and I brought it over here. So it's touching that tin. It's leaning to that tin, and I buried it over here.
Yeah.
Like I buried it as far as I can get it, like probably about 2 foot because that's before you hit bedrock.
So the pole that the antenna's sitting on is actually touching the tin, or it's close enough to the tin.
It's touching it.
All right. Well, you got to. I would double. I would actually try to actually ground that pole to the tin. Make sure it is you actually got a good contact, because then you can make the top of that roof part of your ground plane. You know what I mean?
Well, I can just take a grinder and just grind real good, and
Yeah.
then
Just make
that
sure
would
it's got good contact where it makes good contact to each other. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the thing. Is like like I said, the difference between they do make antennas that are like a car type antenna
want a copper
that
in
does
there.
not need a ground plane. They do make them like that. They use them for backpackers and stuff. You know, there's an antenna that you can mount on your backpack, and it doesn't need a ground plane. And it's
Uh-uh.
pretty,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I looked into those. Those are pretty cool.
when I was a kid, man, I had a little radio hooked up on my bicycle on my and it was talk to people and stuff. Me and my friends
I
used,
That's why I
yeah.
like the handhelds because when I was a kid, that's what I had was a Radio Shack handheld, and I was close to I-35. I grew up in Kansas, so like we always caught the truckers on I-35. That damn thing took like 12 AA batteries.
Right. So even those things, man, if you got a good antenna on it, it'll improve it when it comes down to it. Because honestly, if you, it's not just the radio. A lot of people think they get this big radio and all this other stuff. They're going to do all this, but if they got a crappy antenna, they're not going to really do much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The antenna, you got to understand, the antenna is like where the rubber meets the road. That is what comes in contact with the ionosphere. That's where your signal is being emanated at. So if you gotta have a good transmitter, transmitting, element. Um, and the better you have there, the more you're going to be able to receive, the more you're going to be able to get out. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like um, you got a good start on the radio. Now it's just kind of like working off of that, just kind of building off of that. You know, as far as I know, this is another kind of like bells and whistle type of thing. Like a perk. But they make this a cordless microphone for that radio, where you
I
can like
know.
walk around your damn yard and still you can still hear what's on the radio and talk. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I know a buddy of mine's got that. He'll be sitting there and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in the garage. Oh, okay, now I'm in the kitchen." And that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but my first thing I'm gonna prove on is my antenna situation. Then I'm gonna work on my second thing I'm gonna work on is my power supply. Because I don't want a big power supply, but I want enough amperage that I can push that antenna.
Well, okay. All right. Out of the radio itself, you're only going to get a certain amount of wattage coming out of the radio itself on that one you got. So the only way you're going to actually be able to boost that signal is get like a linear or an amplifier in line. and then you can boost it up and get a couple, more wattage coming out. And then on top of that, then you're definitely going to have to improve on your antenna, because the more wattage you push out, because right now the antenna that you got will handle whatever you're doing right now. All right, it will definitely. But if you start wanting to push more out, get more wattage out, and like for instance, if you get a amplifier or anything like that, you're definitely going to have to upgrade your antenna, because that will not handle the wattage. The coax may or may not even handle it. That's another thing you got to think about too, depending on what you got when it comes down to coax.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not real. I can't remember all that stuff, man. There's some stuff I can't remember. I think it's RG8 or something like that type of coax. You have to have something that's 50 ohms, as far as if I remember correctly, 50 ohm type coax.
50 ohm.
Yeah, 50 ohm. If I'm not mistaken, I may be right. I think I'm right, but I can't remember right offhand.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build the antenna. I'm gonna do my research on it and see how to build and see how I can build an antenna.
It's just all right. All you really mostly just need to know is the length of the wire that you need. For instance, if you're gonna make a wire antenna, just you got to know the length of it, and then it's nothing more to it. It's just basically soldering. When you open up the coax, you're going to have a ground type sheeting on the inside, copper sheeting on the outside, and then you're going to have the copper center core. All right, like if you're doing a dipole, for instance, one the center pole goes to one wire, the ground sheeting goes to the other wire, and that's all there is to it. I mean, start if you the simplest thing is just look up like a single fed wire antenna and also a dipole, and you'll find all kinds of
That's
videos
why
on
I'm
YouTube.
thinking about the dipole.
Yeah, there's all kinds of YouTube videos, man. There's a lot of us radio guys out there that put stuff out there and stuff like that.
Because where I got that pole at, it'll actually be perfect for the dipole because I can put it right over where I'm at.
Right.
And so it'll use that and then still use that tin in a way.
Yeah, that's another thing too. An antenna calculator, you can find those on the internet too. You just what it will do, you'll just punch in what frequency basically you're going to be talking on. Like for instance, if you were on, let's say, okay, channel 38, like where I'm on. All right, you type in, the frequency 27385, and it should do all the calculations for you and tell you how long the piece of wire or the antenna has to be. You know what I mean? And then you just, get you a stretch of wire, cut it to that length, and that's pretty much it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, um, it's really not much to it. And once you do it once or twice, you'll figure it out. And once you get the antenna or the wire cut to the length, and you get things soldered, then it's like, well, actually, you want to do it just a hair longer than normal, so you can actually tune it, by cutting it like a little shorter here and there if you need to get the SWR down. You know what I mean? That's another thing too,
Yeah.
because I know it sounds like probably a lot right offhand, but it's just
Really, I just really when it comes down to it, I want something I can take down quickly.
right,
All right. And then I can just throw it in a vehicle, then go.
right.
Because I got the
See,
12-volt adapter kit uh, for that radio. Or I got it where it plugs into the wall like a cigarette lighter. Cigarette lighter to the wall.
Well, yeah, you can eventually you can just get like a power supply to run that radio if you wanted to. You know what I mean?
Power supply to a
Get
12-volt battery. I'm good.
yeah, yeah, battery will work. And just keeping it charged. That's what I do with mine. I've got like 6 or 7 car batteries as my big 12-volt battery, and I just got like a trickle charger to keep everything charged up, and that's what I run my radio equipment off of. So like even if the power goes out, I can still be on the radio because everything's on batteries.
Oh yeah. Can you run a radio off of a 6-volt with an inverter?
Not 6 volts. No. Has to be 12-volt, and then on top of that,
Bridge it?
the what now?
Can you bridge the 6-volt?
If you had, for instance, well, I don't know, like you talking about bridge 2 6 volts together to make this 12-volt. You talking about to like in series or whatever? Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about? I don't know, but I would just rather no, like I said, if you were just going to use a power supply or something like that, something that's 12-volt, probably maybe 20 or 30 amp. You know what I mean? That'd probably 20 amp probably be plenty for that radio alone.
I'm thinking they got them damn lithium ion batteries now. Like they're small. They're like the motorcycle lithium ion batteries. I'm thinking of a power supply idea with a ammo can, like the 50 cal ammo cans.
Right.
You know, that's a decent size ammo can. So if you could, I mean, if you do it just right, you can actually. I think I don't know. I have to look that up. I don't know how many volts those damn things push out. My friend got one that he runs his damn trolling motor off of, and it works.
Well, it's probably 12-volt. Probably. Because I mean, if it's the same type of petroleum motor like it would run off a regular battery, it's a 12-volt system. It
Yeah,
just depends on how much amperage that you're pushing out. If you got 12 volts, that's fine, but you need to be pushing out to run that radio alone. Um, 20 amps will be plenty, more than enough. You can probably get by with 15 amps, probably. All right, but 20 amp power supply at 12 volts would be more than enough for that radio that you got there. All right. If you put anything else in line, if you start getting into like maybe getting an amplifier or something like that, you're going to have to upscale your power supply to power the amplifier also. So
oh yeah,
that's something else to think about. So I mean, if you plan on somewhere down the line, getting an amplifier, and you know that somewhere down the line you're going to do that, if you're in the market of buying a power supply, get something that can handle both your radio and the amplifier, at the same time instead of whatever. But
like
you know,
2,400 plus.
yeah, well, I mean, shoot, yeah, if you can afford it, but I mean, damn, they get expensive when you start getting up that high, man.
Oh, I know,
You
I
you
know.
know, it's like $1 a watt. No, I mean almost, but I mean, it's crazy. Like a 20 amp power supply or a 30 amp power supply, it's getting up there in price. And then like if you order over the internet, a lot of those, unless you get like a switching power supply, the old ones with the transformer in it, they're like heavy, so the shipping cost gets up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
I really want one of those Jackery systems. They're so cool. The Jackery battery
yeah,
banks.
yeah,
Those things are
yeah.
bitching.
That would be kind of cool if I can get one of them guys to sponsor me, let me do a review so I can keep it. That would be kind of cool, but I don't see that happening. You know, I mean, I thought about it. I was like, dude, I talk about CB radio all the time. Why can't I get one of these radio companies to send me some shit? You know what I mean? And review it. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
Yeah,
because I mean, I'd be totally. I wish Bofang actually made a handheld 10, 11, 12 meter all mode radio. I wish they did because I mean they make pretty decent, cheap ass fucking 2 meter radios. I would love to see a 10, 11, 12 all mode handheld. I want one. Put it that way.
That would be
But,
nice. It'd be nice to actually have a good handheld. Not
yeah,
no damn two,
yeah.
3 watt.
See, that's another thing too. Yeah. See, he's talking about like even UK trips. Yeah, it's 120 amp hours. So like if you're gonna when it comes down to it, like I don't know how many amp hours like one of those Jackeries like fully charged are. I'm not sure, but you might be able to do it. I mean, you can probably use one of them suckers and talk for a while before you have to recharge. You know what I mean? Um,
Well, those suckers, they have like these little packages that you can get with them, like where it comes with its own like power, so, its own solar panel power station.
right, right.
It's
Yeah, I know what
easy
you're talking about.
setup.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a chunk of change that I ain't got. I would love to have something like that sitting around, because I've got solar panels and stuff like that, some cheap Harbor Freight ones. So when like the Hurricane Michael came through and everybody got out of power and stuff, I was still able to power certain things with my solar panels. But even then, that wasn't enough to keep like my freezer going. It wasn't enough to keep the well going. You know what I mean? So I need something that has enough, where I can keep my freezer and my refrigerator and my well to my pump, or my pump to my well. I mean, keep those going, and
I tell
without
you
using
what,
a gas generator.
them newer Ford F-150s are badass. Like they can literally power a small city.
Right?
I think they started doing that in like what 4 years ago. They got
Right.
the one outlets in the back of the bed. Yeah, that's how some people like 2 years ago we had that big freeze down here in Texas. A lot of people lost power, and
Mm-hmm.
the people that had those trucks, man, they said that they basically ran their whole house off of that damn truck.
Right. Yeah. How do you think this winter's going to be?
Well, I think the Farmer's Almanac is a bunch of shit
Why is that?
because it says we're gonna have a mild winter this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have a mild winter. Kansas and all them are already getting snow up there.
Dude.
I think
Yeah,
it's
Paul
actually
Ryan, you're right. Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you got to have, 2, 3 kilowatts or more, and the inverters. Oh, that's another thing too. Inverters get very expensive. Like a pure sine wave inverter, like a couple thousand, like kilowatt inverters. A watt inverter, 2 kilowatts. That's 2,000 watts. But
and I got $200 every other paycheck to mess around with. So
well, save your money.
I know, right?
Save your money, man. Just look around. Like I said, like a good starter place would probably just like, like I said, I have bought a few things there from them and stuff like that. But it is like something to look at, so you can get an idea of what you're looking at. And like Copper Electronics, go there, look around, look at the antennas, read the descriptions and all that stuff. Look at prices. Then you can get an idea what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Polarin, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I guess that really depends on where you live, man. And where I'm living, you won't find a whole lot of inverters and stuff like that in a damn yard sale where I'm at. I
Well,
keep my eyes open for shit like that, so I don't really see it a lot.
Goodwill is also an awesome place to find stuff like that.
If you work there,
A
you
lot of the
know.
time, dude, a lot of the times you can go there, dude. Like the Goodwill here in our town, dude. I find all kinds of crazy stuff, dude. I found Japanese fishing poles that were worth a couple $100s, and I paid $5 for them
Right.
because they
Well,
didn't
I
know what it
mean,
was.
sometimes you can luck out, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. I actually used to work a Goodwill at one time, and I was like one of the loaders that would help people load their stuff into the store or whatever. There were like donations and stuff. I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
something. A lot of that good stuff never made it on the showroom floor. It never even made it into the store. You know what I mean? Some of that stuff went straight from one person's car right into mine. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell you something, man. Sometimes you can luck out, but I'm gonna tell you, the people that work there, they get first pick. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah. Yeah, I bet you guys find all kinds of stuff, money, all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. The neighborhood I was working in with the Goodwill, it was kind of like a high dollar neighborhood. So, dude, there would be people bringing in like practically brand new stuff. You know what I mean? Just giving it away. You say, "Oh no, I got something newer. Or I upgraded, or whatever, whatever, whatever." I was like, "Holy crap, man! Everything from like kitchen stuff to stereo equipment, brand new, man. Like, it's probably been used like twice. You know what I mean?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm a needy person, so I was like, "You're giving to the needy? All right, fine. I'm gonna put that in my car." Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, UK Transparency. I was talking about the Antron 99. I think they call them a Solocron. I think they call them Solocron today. They used to be called the Antron 99. You might be able to still be able to find like it listed under Antron 99, but that's a good starter type base antenna. It's a fiberglass stick, sticks straight up in the air. It's just got a copper wire inside it. That's it, and that's all you got to do. And you don't need like the ground plane type of thing like I was talking about. You just stick that up on the pole, mount it to your pole, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? Um, and they're like I said, for me personally, I don't use copper. I've got an aluminum ground plane up there because I've had lightning strike a couple of times, and one time it evaporated my Antron 99. It blew it up. Lightning hit it, and it was nothing left of it. And it just luckily I didn't have anything plugged in because I took my coax and unhooked it before the storm, so it didn't ruin my radio, but it destroyed my TV. It destroyed my stereo. It also killed the pump to the well. It also killed the big transformer that comes in from the power company. So it was still kind of expensive. Oh, oh, he dropped out. Oh, oh, there he is, back. Okay,
I had to switch because I'm fixing the clock out.
clock out.
I'm working, man.
You're a working man. Yeah. Polar, and you ain't got nothing nice to say about that, do you? Yeah, IMAX 2000. See, yeah, Solarcron IMAX 2000. That's it. It's just a regular fiberglass antenna. They're okay. They're okay. I mean, the only thing is that the sun tends to, after many years, it tends to degrade that fiberglass. That's the only thing about those antennas.
Oh yeah. Like I've got plenty of fiberglass fishing poles that are old. I know how that works.
Right. Yeah, if they sit in the sun for years and stuff, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. become all brittle and break apart. And
Right. So I mean, what I've done, I've actually took sandpaper and I've scraped them all up and I've actually painted them. So you know, at least give it that much more protection. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, it's been a slow day today. Another slow day.
Shoot, man, I'm glad at the end of the day for me, man. I'm tired. Wow, and I sure as hell am gonna sleep late tomorrow morning. I can tell you that. I did not want to get up this morning. I was like, I don't want to go to school. You know,
Oh yeah.
Starduster. Yeah, right on. There's a lot of different. I mean, I've got a beam out there too that I mean, eventually I'd like to actually fix and get better and maybe put it up on a higher tower. But I don't know. It just depends on where I'm at. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be staying in this place or not. But um, I've got an old with 3 element Joe gun, and with the skip running so good, it'd be really pretty nice if I had it up higher and stuff like that, so I can run on, talk all the European stuff without California butting in. It drives me nuts sometimes too, because like in the mornings, like when the European stuff starts coming in, and then we're all like talking to Europe and all this other stuff, and then next thing you know, California start waking up, and all their beams are pointed east. So and they can't hear Europe, but they can hear us talking to Europe, and then they start talking, and I'm like, all I can hear is their fucking stupid ass talking, and I can't hear the guys in Europe talking, and I'm like, shut up. That's why I got the beam. That's why I got the beam because it's got like the back reflector on it. Like, so if I'm pointing east, whatever's west behind on from the west behind me, I can block it out a lot, like a lot of it, so I can only hear to the east, for instance, if I wanted to. That's the reason why I got the beam in the first place, but that just a regular, like a ground plane, like what I'm running right now, it's like I get it from 360 around. So, I got no choice but to hear them when they wake up. And there's some jokers over there in California, boy. I'm gonna tell you, man. Some jokers over there, boy. I don't know what it is about them damn Yankees up in New York and the fucking Yankees over in California.
Are those the ones that are always like posting, like they're always playing like
Like music
the
and crap like that.
yeah.
A lot of times it is. A lot of times, like lately, a lot of there's a couple of guys that are out of Arizona that have been making a lot of noise, and it's pretty crazy. But it's like I said, man. It's like it's just like the same thing on the internet. You got trolls that come in and chat and all that other stuff or whatever. It's the same thing, just on the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got guys out there that their whole intent in coming out on the radio is to start a fight. I mean, it's the same thing. You got people that come on the internet and come on the YouTube and they get in chat rooms and stuff like that, and their whole intention is to start a fight. You know what I mean? Oh, Siri Game Master. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, the 5/8. So that's what I got as a 5/8. Mako 5/8. That's what I've got. It comes down to my antenna.
I just got that China man.
And you talk about UK transparency. You're talking about 2 meter and 70 centimeter. Now I've got a regular like a Bofang, and I've got a one of the Nagoya, I think it is, but it's like a a longer one, a better one to go on the radio itself. But I also got like a homebrew J pole that somebody made years ago that works for 2 meter and 7 centimeter, and I've got that up on the tower. So, and I've got coax running down to that. So if I want to, I can just plug my handheld into that, and I got better because I've got that antenna up on the tower. So I mean, but that's another thing too, man. You can look. There's all kinds of different ways of making antennas. Like a J pole even works. You can make a J pole for 11 meters too.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's just like you start getting into that kind of thing. You start learning more like antenna theory and all this other shit. It's like there's so many different things, and there's so many different ways of making your own. Instead of going out and spending a bunch of money on something.
That's what I want to do. I want to make something of my own. Like, hey, man, I made this and it's transmitting out. This is cool
I mean,
shit.
you can even make like a J pole antenna, but like add a ladder line type wire. Um, I don't know how to explain ladder line, but it's basically two wires. It's like the old antenna. You remember the old TV antennas and stuff like that? The wire that would come out that you would have to hook up to your TV. It had two wires that were basically that would come off your
Yeah,
like your
I
gravity.
know exactly because
All right.
that pole that I used was actually a TV antenna pole.
All right. Well, the wire, the what comes off your your little rabbit ears that hooks up to your TV. That wire is what they call ladder line. All right. It's got two basic wires connect. That's all it is, and you can make a J pole antenna out of that. Delta loops. Yeah, I was sitting there looking at Delta loops as well because I was looking in like magnetic loop antennas myself because I wanted something that was broad banded, something I would. But the only thing is like I need like oh shit, I can't remember how many farad like a was it variable capacitor. So I can actually tune the antenna however I want to whatever bandwidth, whatever frequency I'm on, and because
Okay.
I want an antenna that does it all. All I got to do is just tune it. You know what I mean? I don't want to have like fucking 6 different antennas out there for each whatever band I'm on. And then you think about it, if I wanted to do a damn 40-meter type talking, I got to have a 40-meter fucking antenna out there. And
Lee. See, that's what I want to reach. That's gonna always be the best way, just to build something to reach. Because
yeah,
I got this whole roof, this whole damn trailer I can use.
yeah. Like I said, like a dipole or even just a single fed wire antenna, just stretch it like along the top of your roof or along the gutter or something like that. That'll work. Or there's a lot of different ways of doing it. Because I mean, like for instance, UK transparency. Like for instance, he lives in a place where he doesn't really, he's not able to stick a big antenna up in the air. Because he's like in an apartment complex type of thing. So there's there's different ways of like hiding it too. And like if you don't like if you got an HOA that's like all up your ass where they won't let you put anything like that up, there's ways of getting around it.
Well, it's like the old, like during the Vietnam, the Vietnam War, they used to make their antennas up into the trees.
Right.
They used
Yeah.
to string it up in the trees.
Well, I mean, for a long time, for a couple of years actually, I had in an oak tree that's not that far away from my house, right here next to the house, I had a pole strapped up in the very top of the tree with the antenna just at the top above the tree line, the actual top of the tree, and it was just bolted to the tree trunk, and I had the coax coming down and stuff like that. That worked, you know. But like I said, I live in the lightning capital of the world, so I'm trying to avoid any way of lightning strikes. So, you know, I don't want to be like on a tree that's going to attract a lightning. I'm trying to avoid lightning. Uh, that's another thing too. I went almost overboard on grounding um, when I got hit lightning last time. I was like, man, I totally like upgraded a lot of stuff
Yeah.
because I ended up putting like what they call a devil's triangle grounding around my tower and had my whole connected my whole tower to it, and ended up grounding the house to that my ground. I did all kinds of stuff. I did a bunch of shit, and but you can't really go overboard on it. You really can't.
No.
Yeah.
You see, another thing I want to look into, because you got me curious the last time we talked about the scanners and then the CB radios. You said there's a way you can actually like run it through your CB.
The what now? Said
Remember,
it one more time.
we were talking a while back. I think the last month or two, and like I do the police scanner, and you were talking about a way of doing the police scanner through your radio.
Well, I mean, on my little Bofang radio, yeah. I mean, 2 meters is basically what a lot of the well, they use mostly digital now, but there's still a lot of like dispatchers and stuff like that that still use analog. But um, a lot of the EMS, the fire department, the police department, I can listen to that stuff on my Bofang, my little 2 meter radio, but it's not digital, so I won't hear everything. There's a lot of stuff that's all digital, and so it's scrambled on my end because my radio doesn't pick up digital shit. So, but eventually, I want to get. There's a radio. There's a radio I've been looking at. It's a little handheld radio that is what DMR capable or digital capable, whatever, and it'll get all those frequencies and stuff like that. It'll be a transceiver, so like I can actually key up and talk on the frequency and all that stuff. But they don't like it when you start talking on cop frequencies. But I will just use it for a scanner. Basically, I just program in all the frequencies and just use it for a scanner. But I want to have the option. If I want to transmit, I can. I want to have that option. But those radios are not that cheap either. They're like $400, $500, $600, something like that. Well, see, that's another thing. See, okay, I'm in transparency. I'm gonna tell you, the radios you guys use over there are more like on a cell network or a cell phone type network. They're not really like, radios, or they're like more like trunking radios or something like that. Where it's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's different. It's not the same thing. You won't be able to listen to like police stuff over what they're doing.
Oh yeah. I think okay, so I'm gonna run some of the cards too because I'm over here also like consulting with my business partner that we're venturing into. Would you pay $5 for a complete fishing rig for catfish, like hook to the weight? The only thing you have to do is tie it on.
It sounds reasonable. I mean, honestly, I don't really. I mean, I'm kind of not really the best person to ask on that. I don't do a lot of fishing. I do, but I don't do a lot of it, so I really wouldn't know what would be.
You're the perfect person. That's why I'm asking you. Like, I know you don't really do that much stuff like that. So they're like, but you're the one that you're the consumer I'm trying to go after because of the fact that you might have a tackle box, but then oh man, these rigs are already made up. Bam, I
Right.
bought.
Right. Well, it sounds reasonable to me. I mean, honestly, because you think about it, the convenience, where you don't have to sit there and rig up your own stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, tie it on and good to go, right? So, um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know
I
what
mean, the
the
rig.
what for instance, what would a pack of something like some rigged up leaders and stuff like that go for, like in, I don't know, Walmart or some shit like that? What would something like that cost?
About $34
Really?
just for regular, just like for a hook and a leader. That's it.
Okay. So how much would some of all the stuff cost you, for instance? Like all the line, all that other stuff.
Well, if you do it right, like I'm just gonna do a trial run, and I'm gonna use my channel as a platform for it
Right on.
because why not?
Well,
Um,
you can even show people, like, like even on your own channel, you can show people, like, this is already rigged up. You can show them how you can rig it up to your pole, and then how well it works, you know what I mean? You could do all
oh
that
yeah,
shit if you wanted to, you know. I mean, you don't do a whole lot of videos of you going out fishing, do you?
not really.
I don't know.
That's one of those things I like to do, just to go out there and enjoy it, and not have a camera and all that.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
It's actually inconvenient for me to have that damn camera out
Yeah.
when I'm fishing. It really is. It's a booger.
Strap a damn GoPro to your head or something.
Oh, I've done the chest. I've done the chest mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you're like constantly looking at the screen so you can keep up with your chat, but then you're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
pay attention to your fishing poles and trying to catch bait. So it
Oh
gets
yeah.
kind of
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I used to do a lot of like nature photography, but I'd go out on my kayak a lot of these rivers and creeks and shit like that and get pictures of like
oh
wildlife, like alligators and whatever. I'm serious. You're trying to sit there and guide your kayak upstream, holding the paddle with one hand and a camera in the other, while you're trying to take pictures of baby alligators. It's not that easy.
dude, I love canoeing.
Hmm. Damn, I got
Canoeing kayak,
one
dude.
damn blunt left. Damn shit.
Dude, I'm down on mine too. But I got this damn. I went to Oklahoma with my cousin up there. He handed me like this big old bag of shake, so I still got that
Give you a headache.
a little bit.
I hear you. Uh, Probably have to go to the store sometime this weekend. I got a few different like welding side jobs that I got to do this weekend too. I got to try and do that tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I got just like, somebody wants me to fix like their old dolly or whatever. I need to redo that, weld that up, and then another guy wants me to like kind of fabricate like a bracket for his winch for his four wheeler. So I got to make that up. I'm gonna try and get all that stuff. The only thing is like hopefully I can, hopefully my drill bits, that because I got to drill some holes and stuff in this steel. Hopefully my drill bits will last. I don't know. I ain't got really good drill bits. That's the only thing. And
I
but I
need
got
to
to drill
redo
like,
the H brace. for the fence.
The what now?
The H brace is where all your wiring for the fencing hooks up to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this one's getting pretty damn rusty.
Yeah, buddy. I hear somebody talking in the background. What is it?
Some big rain over in Iran that oil out of.
That's one thing I don't like about that Bearcat is their cave fire.
What about it?
It's so fucking touchy.
Right. I hear you. Yeah, the only time you really need to pay attention to the clarifier is when you're on sideband. On AM, you really don't need it all that much. I mean, you don't really have to mess with it that much, honestly. I don't think you shouldn't have to anyway. When you're on
Upper
AM,
sideband, I've picked up, but like lower sideband, I don't think I've picked anything up on lower sideband yet.
well, 38 is kind of like the channel 6 of sideband. All right, when Skip is running, channel 38 will be the place to be when it comes down to it.
Okay.
And that'll be on lower sideband, not upper sideband, lower sideband. Now, there's a couple of frequencies out there. I don't know if that radio will go there, but I can't remember right offhand. But that's when you would want to use upper sideband. But like I said, what is it? 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Those are mostly generally set aside for sideband talking. You know, people
Is
still talk
17
on
the Joker?
AM. Wait a minute, say that again?
Is 17 the Joker on the upper sideband?
17?
Yeah.
No, it'll be AM if it's on channel 17.
Okay.
But like for instance, there's this one guy that pops in my chat every once in a while. He's got a YouTube channel. It's called Popcorn. He does video gates of CB stuff, but it's mostly channel 17. So, like for instance, if you go to his and watch one of his live streams or whatever, and you can hear what he's hearing on channel 17. But like for instance, here right now, let's see here. I wonder if any of my locals are talking. I'm gonna go to AM. Let's go down to 24. See, I'm on channel 24 AM right now. These are mostly locals within about 50 to 100 miles away, somewhere around there.
Oh yeah, that's a wonderful thing. And then look, we got an updated A10 Warthog now, and that little slow flying thing is armor plated and flies slow and got that GAU 10. And I mean it's terrible on folks. No matter what they come out with, they'll never beat the missile. Well, there's always going to be something better. That's what they're always after, the next big thing. I just did tow missile 3,000 meters away. You could shoot a tow missile at a P-55 Russian tank, and it'll fly above the top of the hatch and blow down on top of the hatch. Yeah, I learned that one.
That dude sounds like he's from the sticks somewhere.
It's kind of strange.
Say what now?
That one guy sounds like he's from the sticks.
Yeah, he's probably in Alabama or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember right offhand. I think he's in Alabama. But it's hard to find anybody under the age of 30. You know, most of these guys are over the age of 30 to talk on the radio, especially the locals around here.
Yeah.
Mostly old timers compared to me. You know,
See, I'm 34, and
right?
I just, I remember, getting in the grandpa's truck when I was little and messing with his TV, and when I had that handheld.
Well, like I said, I've been talking on the radio pretty much off and on all my ever since what was it late '90s or something like that, mid '90s, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Um, you know, somewhere around there. 14 years old was when I think I got my first radio. So
But they gave them enough. They killed a bunch of Russian tanks here recently, and excuse me, and drone attacks too. Yeah, they gave a bunch of drones, good drones to bad all the time.
Heck, I even had an 8-track player growing up, too.
oh yeah, I got
Yeah.
one beat. I got you beat. I've got an old reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Holy crap.
Yep, I've got one.
Yeah, I understand that's the weakest part of many tanks is right there where the driver is. There's the least amount of fix.
I think my crown jewel has to be my Zepco.
Excuse me. Say that one
I
more
got a
time. Sorry.
Zepco. I got a Zepco reel that doesn't even have Zepco on it. Still in the box. Like
Oh
when they
yeah,
first
right on.
started making them.
Shoot,
They
man.
sort of, like, that was right after the war.
Some people will pay big money for some of that stuff. It's
Not
amazing what
really.
some people will pay for. Well, I mean, tell you seriously, people will pay insane money for stuff, man. You never know. I mean, think about it. People actually paid for the pet rock.
Yeah, true.
You know, think about it. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you something. Like that was the reason why I was asking you about, like, for instance, what if you could find that same type of package deal in Walmart? What would it cost? And you're doing it for $5. That's like way cheaper than what they would get at the store. So, I mean, you know, it's a good deal on that end altogether. You know what I mean?
See, that's what me and my buddy talked about because, we're for the American people, We want to make a good business. We don't want to make money. Like, we just want people to fish. That's our goal. That's what we want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? You never
That's
know. I
right.
mean, you can start with leaders. Next thing you know, you can start selling rods and reels. You never know. Whatever. That's where it could start. I mean, honestly, it's just trying to figure out, like, this is when it comes down to me, like when I was doing my knives and stuff and whatever else I was doing, is just trying to keep up enough product for people to buy, and then having and getting people to see what you got so you can sell it. Because you can sit there and make leaders all day long, but if you can't sell them, what the fuck good is it? So you got to figure out a way to sell them. You got to figure out a way to get people to see it, and the YouTube channel is one good way, but you got to have like a lot of people interested in that kind of thing, and then because me personally, if I'm going to sell anything or if I'm going to make any money on YouTube in any way, it's not going to be through monetization. It's not going to be like fucking doing a bunch of sales, the commercials and
That makes
stuff.
sense, I ain't changing. I ain't changing how I do my shit.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm not going to do that either. So if I was wanting to sell something on YouTube or try to make a profit of somehow, I would make my own product and put it
Yeah.
on my channel and be like, okay, this is what I make. If you want to get a hold of me, email me, blah blah blah. That kind of thing. Um,
And plus, I'm
so
just sitting here working for the man, anyways. I work for my
right.
damn self.
Yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it? I mean, seriously, man. I mean, honestly, I don't. I mean, I got this gig that I'm working now. I mean, the guy, he's technically my boss, but he wants to make it out like, oh, we're partners, and I'm like, okay, whatever, whatever, whatever. But it's still his business. You know what I mean? I still
Yeah.
basically work for him. You know what I mean? And I kind of like, when I was, trust me, put it this way. I was not making nearly enough money to keep everything going like I really wanted to when I was just doing it myself, like making knives, making jewelry, or making artwork and stuff. The main reason is because when I try to go out and sell my stuff, I'm just basically getting local people to see it. It's like I didn't
Yeah.
really have it like, like on the internet, for instance, or on like Facebook Marketplace. I didn't do any of that shit. I just went out to like different places and set up and whatever. But that's how many eyeballs got on my stuff. And then once I sold everybody in my local area a knife, it's like, okay, well, shit, Uh, so I don't know. It's just one of them things. It's like if I want to continue doing it, I have to actually get more people um, seeing my stuff. Because then it's just trying to keep the inventory up. Just keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
instance, if your thing is the leaders, like every bit of your spare free time sitting there making up leaders. You know what I mean? Um, so it's it's to me that's what I want is to be able to work for myself also and have my own way, but and make a living doing it. But it's not the
You,
easy thing to do. It's kind of hard. That's why not
I,
very many people do it.
yeah, like I went from doing construction to, like, I basically work for the state, taking care of my sister.
Hmm.
So I already got income coming in. But if I could somehow, do something with my time, because it's like, dude, it's driving me insane not going out and working.
Oh, dude, yeah. That was one of the things with me too. Is just trying to turn what I guess you quote unquote call a hobby and make it into some way of making money. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because I want to do something I like doing and I love to do anyway,
yeah, that's
and
right.
make money and make a living doing it. That would be kind of nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the one thing that I hate about working a job is because majority of the jobs I've ever worked at, I don't really care for it. I just needed the paycheck. I didn't like the job. I just wanted the paycheck. And
yeah.
I, and I was all I was never really fully happy. You know what I mean? So, but
No,
I don't know.
like I've done it all. I've moved concrete, trimming. I've done pretty much a lot of
Yeah. See, I
either.
mean, at the moment, I'm doing remodel stuff. That's what I'm doing at the
Yeah,
moment. So, I mean, I built houses like basically carpenter framer for 20 years, and but I've done a lot of different stuff. Kind of jack of all trades.
oh yeah. I
Yeah.
am too. I am, but like I don't do electricity. That's just one thing I don't do.
Well, I can do that. I mean, I'm not licensed, but
Yeah,
I have a pretty good idea what I'm doing. Like I can wire a house, put it that way. I know how to do that. You know.
like I can hook up fixtures and do all that, but like when you're like, yeah, actually like wiring it up to the damn uh your panel and everything like that, like I don't want to fuck anything up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's another thing too. I was always interested in. That's another reason why I like the radio shit because I actually like to modify or repair my own stuff. So I always got into electronics. I mean, the electronics today is a little different from when back when I was younger. You know what I mean? When it comes down to like the circuit board, for instance, it's a lot different now. You got a surface mount shit. It's all that really tiny, tiny stuff. It's not the same. But
See, I'm more mechanically inclined. Like anything mechanically I can fix and,
right.
make parts to fix it and all that.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like for instance, if you crack open that radio you got and you look at the fucking the circuit board on the inside, it's all that surface mount stuff. It's all these really tiny, tiny pieces in there, soldered to the damn board. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really not what it used to be when it comes down to like because the old point to point type circuitry, you got all the different components soldered to the damn board and all that shit. It's not like that anymore with the newer stuff.
Like I can understand schematics and everything like that too. Like wire
Oh yeah.
diagrams.
Well, that's cool. That's a good start. You know, because I mean, that comes in handy, especially if you wanted to do any kind of troubleshooting, fix something or whatever.
I've owned a couple Fords in my life, so they helped me with that. I had a '97 Lariat, the 4.6 in it, and that damn thing broke the fuse mount box, and it dropped down there by the header. Almost caught the whole damn truck on fire. So I had to go find another damn one and rewire all that. And I did it all by I had the other one right there, and I just switched them. I did it all like. Then with that system happening, I sit there and messed up my fuel pump, so I had to get a new damn fuel pump.
Well, is that in the tank? Is that is it in line or is it in the tank?
Yeah, you gotta take that damn bed and you gotta sit there, take the screws out of the damn bed and like sit there, take the bed and put it sideways up there, then get in there in the tank. Yeah, it's a scumbag.
Yeah, I hate that. Actually, I had a little Toyota truck, and I had to replace the fuel pump, and it's an in the tank type pump. And instead of taking the tank off altogether, because it's on the top of the tank, so you gotta empty the tank out and take the tank off to get to it. That's how you're supposed to do it. But I didn't even do that. I said, fuck it. I cut a hole in the bed of the truck to get to it.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it. I just cut a hole in it and made like a trap door so I could go straight down to it, the damn top of the tank from the damn bed of the truck.
I mean, those Fords with the 4.6 in them, they're pretty good trucks. But you got to make sure to do the maintenance on it, especially in timing chains. Because if not, you're going to blow the head gaskets.
Right. I don't know.
That's what I did with mine. I blew the head gasket in it. And you got to have a damn special Ford head tool just to get the damn head bolts out.
Yeah, I know. Dude, like for instance, I got that Pathfinder that's sitting out here. I got a what was it, 90s, 91, 92, something like that. A Pathfinder. All right, and it's knocking to the point where it's gonna, crack a head or something. I don't know, but so basically, I got to replace the engine if I want to keep it. Basically, so I've got to actually pull that engine out, put another one in it if I want to keep it, and that I'm not looking forward to, honestly. I'm not looking forward to that. I want to keep it because I like the Pathfinder. I like driving it. I want to actually run it, and just drives me nuts though because I'd have to drop that engine out and put another one in it.
It's just a 4-cylinder in it.
Six cylinder, I think. I can't remember right offhand. No, I can't remember right offhand. Now I think about it. I think it's a 6. It's an old, it's an old truck, but I mean, um, it had a oil leak in it that kept on dropping way too much oil, and it finally got to the point where it's too dry, too hot, started knocking real bad.
I'll put some of that damn honey oil in there and it'll be all right.
Shit. I'm just like, I know I can crank it up right now and it'll be fine. But, when it comes out, it's still knocking real hard. But I just know if I kept on like trying to use it or whatever, it's gonna seize up, and I just rather not have it seize it up. So I just kind of have it parked at the moment. Because if I do decide to sell it, I'll just sell it as is. It's in good shape other than the knock in the engine. So you know, um, and somebody, I'm sure they would. I don't know if they decide to repair that engine, for instance. It's better to have it in that condition it's in now instead of seized up.
Oh yeah, totally.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought about taking some, washing it up real nice and cleaning it up real nice, like, because it's in decent shape otherwise, and then just take some pictures of it and then put it on like, get my mom and put it on like Facebook Marketplace or something and just sell it as is. It's like, it's in good shape this year. It's got a knock in the engine. Do you know what I mean? And
Oh yeah.
just telling, it's like be straight up, but I don't know how much I can get for it. There was a guy who was telling me I could probably list it for like 3 grand. You know what I mean? And give me a little, or 3.5, 3.5, and if I need to, just bring it down to 3 grand. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Man, my next door neighbor got a pickup I want to buy from him. It's an '01 Dodge 4x4
Yeah,
for 1,500, which ain't that's really damn good.
yeah. That's what I liked about the Pathfinder. It's got damn 4-wheel drive on it too, man. And I mean, I don't use it that often, but it's nice to have that option. You know what I mean? When
Heck
I do
yeah.
need it. You know what I mean? Because the car that I'm in now doesn't have any of that shit. It's actually a piece of shit car. But in the van, and that it didn't have any. It was an old Dodge van, so that was. I don't know what it is about that year Dodge vans. They have crappy transmissions. Uh, but
Yeah.
the one I got that year they made crappy ass transmissions for them or whatever.
What kicks like a mule shifting?
Well, what it ended up doing later on, now this is the second transmission I've got in it now, but it's still doing the same kind of thing after a while. But what it will do is like it will take forever. Like I crank it up, it'll take forever to get into gear. It'll sit there and it's like it has to warm up or something like that. Or you know what I mean? It's so crazy. Like or like I actually get it to where it will kick into gear and I can start driving. It'll be like in second gear for the longest time, and then it'll eventually kick into the rest of them. And that's just driving me insane, dude.
Sounds like it's like eating the clutches up.
I don't know. It just drives me nuts. This is the second. Well, I'll have to tell you this: the second transmission I've got in it now is out of like a pick and pull type of scenario. So
Uh,
you know, you get what you get. But
I
even
love
then,
those. Dude, if I were, if you had the opportunity, I would come and swap it.
you can do what now?
I would at least put a Cummins in there. Like if he's gonna at least take that transmission and engine out.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I don't know, man. I started thinking about it at one time. I was thinking about putting a diesel in it, but the thing is I started looking at what the diesel's going on. It's going into this fucking shit now. I'm like, oh crap, man. You know, a while back ago, diesel was more economical because it was cheaper than gas, but now it ain't. You know. And then now let me ask you: have you heard any more news about this so-called diesel running out in the next 16 days? Have you
Oh,
heard any more about
oh,
that?
yeah. Okay, so this is what I heard. Okay, so like I heard that everybody like the news like out like blew it out of proportion. Okay, so basically we have 25 days in our reserve. So if diesel production stops, then our we only have 25 days in reserve because we sold off certain wells to
China.
out of state, I mean, out of country investors.
Hmm.
You hear
You know,
about
that was
that?
kind of crazy too, because when Trump was in there, I'm not saying that he was all great, but he did actually replenish a lot of our reserves while he was in office. You
Yeah.
know, and now it's like every bit of that crap that he put in there, man, they're just sending it off to the highest bidder or any bidder, really. It seems like now, and that's pretty
No,
messed up. You know what I mean? I mean,
if
how can we have any kind of independent type scenario if we're always buying like our gas from damn Saudi Arabia, or you know, they want us to go solar and all the solar panels are made in China? You know, I mean, come on.
yeah, yeah, we're making China's economy awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the reason why they're wanting to take Taiwan right now, is because the Taiwan is makes majority of all like the electronics crap. You know, like all the circuit board, like for instance in your radio, they do all that kind of stuff. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they want to have control over that scenario. That's why they want to come in and take Taiwan. And then that's another thing too, man. Oh man, all this happening at the same time when all this crap. Oh man, just
But like also gotta remember, right? So like everybody, we might have that 25 days of reserve of diesel, and yeah, there's a lot of diesel, but there's also alternative ways that diesel run. Like a lot of cities, they do the vegetable oil deal,
right,
or they'll do the propane. Like a lot of your city buses are run off of propane.
right. But I mean, you look at it, man. How many? You see what runs on diesel. Look at everything that runs on diesel.
Oh,
Everything
that a
that's
lot of shit.
yeah, everything that's
A lot of
transported.
shit.
Pretty much all the farm equipment. You know what I mean?
Hospital generators.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so much. You know what I mean? And if it was to just stop, I mean, everything would just go like to a dead stop if they couldn't get any more diesel. You know?
There's certain diesels out there that are so loyal where you can like have like a quarter of a tank of diesel and change out the oil and throw the oil in there in the gas tank and
I hear you.
I mean there's a guy called Zip Ties and Buy Supplies, crazy guy out there in Canada, and he's proven it.
I'm sure that, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. There's got to be a way. You know? I'm telling you, man. You think about it, man. You start looking at some of these Florida rednecks out here. They'll make shit out of nothing. You know what I mean?
Right?
It's crazy. That's what I love about the ingenuity of a bunch of rednecks, especially when they want to make like a big like a monster truck or some shit like that, or beef up their four wheeler to make like monster four wheelers and stuff. You just old Southern redneck don't do it any better. You know what I mean?
Actually, putting a bigger turbo on your diesel can improve your gas mileage.
Right. I hear you.
I had a buddy that he drove his diesel from. Well, he did like a 2-state deal on one tank,
Right.
and that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was like over 400 and something miles.
Yeah. I was about to say a couple 100 miles or 300 miles, something like that. Now, if you can get about 300 or 400 miles off of a full, just a full tank, that's not too bad. You know,
Well, these newer cars, my mom got one of those newer Hyundai Santa Fe's, and it goes probably about on a full tank about 500, close to 500 mile range. And it's not a turbo car either.
right? Well, my piece of crap car. I will say this: it does have pretty decent gas mileage, but it's a piece of shit. I don't like it at all. But, I don't. I mean, it was like beggars can't be choosers because I kind of actually needed something badly, and I got whatever I can get, and to, it gets me back and forth. Put it that way.
Man, the little Honda Civics, Accords, man, those things are a blessing. Like you could put $40 in a week and drive around. $40 a week, 40 to 50
Yeah.
bucks a week, and have plenty of gas.
Shit. I remember when damn $20 could get me around for all fucking week long.
Yeah. Yep. Just like a year ago, man, I remember the truck putting 20 in the truck every morning. Because I had to drive like at least an hour, hour and a half to the work site.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on where if I'm working or whatever. Depends on where I'm working. I'm like driving, probably 30 or 40 minutes one way. So, about 2 hours round trip a lot of times, you
Yeah,
know.
that's pretty much what I do too. Because like where I'm at, like I'm an hour away from Fort Worth, so going there and back, that's pretty much as far as I go regularly.
Right. You still driving home now?
I don't have a vehicle right now. Just stole my truck.
Oh. So, I mean, are you at home now?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking you were, you know, I don't know. For some reason I was thinking you were driving home from work or whatever. For some reason, I don't know.
no. I literally take care of my sister. I get paid to take care of my sister, so like I stay home.
Oh, so you didn't have to drive very far to get home, did you? Yeah,
No,
I hear you. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's not that's pretty cool that you're taking care of your sister like that.
she's actually gonna get her CB radio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she likes it too.
So what's her CB handle going to be? Do you know?
Rubber ducky.
the Uh huh. My ex girlfriend. This was like probably like 2000 some odd years. I don't know but back in the day, late 90s. She was on the CB radio and stuff like that, and her name was Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort.
hmm Southern Comfort with this real Southern drawl type accent. Yeah. You don't really hear a whole lot of girls on the radio anymore. Used to a lot back in the day, but it's just like every once in a while you'll hear one, but it's not a whole lot of them on the radio anymore.
Yeah, well, my sister, she's been blind all her life, so
Yeah,
like things like this, she enjoys because she can actually do it.
right. Has she ever like listened to any of my live streams or any of my things, any of my videos?
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah, because I was like, I've got a few things here and there and stuff like that. I'm trying, you know. I'm trying to like nowadays. I'm like lately. I've been trying to keep like my videos like not too long. You know what I mean? Because I mean seriously, like trying to sit through like a 6 hour video. I understand that can be tough. So I'm trying to keep
Yeah.
them sort of kind of manageable. You know.
Yep, we listen. She listens to you. She listens to Dirty Diaper.
Yeah, I know who Dirty Diaper is. Yeah, yeah. Now I think he's like, what is it? What channel is it? I think it's 23 or 24 that he listens to or talks on most of the time. I
Yeah, and
can't remember.
that's SC21 on YouTube.
Yeah, I
I
can't
think.
remember. Yeah, yeah. But I can't
He's
remember
up
what.
there once in a while.
Oh, it might be Channel 21. It might be Channel 21. Now I think about it. I can't remember what channel it is, but that's what he normally is on. Like even on his YouTube channel, he's on one particular frequency, one channel. And he's mostly on AM. He doesn't really do a lot of sideband stuff that I don't know of.
Yeah, he gets kind of grumpy when I start talking about sideband.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like a lot of the older guys. A lot of like I'll give you an example. Like a lot of the older guys around here, the ones that have been talking on the radio for all their life, that kind of thing, since like the '60s and shit. A lot of them, they never went the sideband thing, and it never went ham. They strictly stuck with AM, and channel 19 and channel 24 or whatever, 17 or some shit like that, and they're diehard that. That's it. You know what I mean? And some people are like that. That's fine. You know what I mean? Um, but like me personally, I don't mind talking and listening to AM. I don't mind it, but I do majority of my stuff on sideband. I enjoy um, um, the sound of sideband versus AM. That's why I like it. You know what I mean? There's more noise to listen to on AM than there is on sideband. That's the reason why I like it. And plus, I don't need a lot of wattage to get out on sideband versus AM. Um, but teach their own. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I mean, like ham operators. So you get some of the older ham operators, the more like quote unquote traditional ones or whatever. Dude, these guys think that they're just better than everybody when it comes down to radio altogether. It's like I'm a extra class or some shit like that. I'm better than you. My radio equipment costs more than your damn blah 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 blah. Shut up, stupid. I'm serious, man. I actually literally had one
I
guy tell
know.
me he told me one time, he's like, you know what, my radio costs more than your shit, so that makes me better than you. I was like,
Oh
you
my
gotta be
gosh.
you are stupid. Just because you paid more money for your damn radio equipment, that makes you better than me? You're an idiot. You know what I mean?
That's some caveman shit.
Well, I mean, hey, some people are like that. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like, that's why I got a thick skin to a lot of this YouTube crap, this YouTube street shit. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
goes on. I got a thick skin to that stuff because I've dealt with this kind of stuff on the radio for many years. So, it's nothing new. You get some of these new kids on the block type of stuff doing all this same shit that's been done for fucking 2 decades or more. You know what I mean? So it's, come on, man. Hell, people were doing this shit before the internet was even invented. So, you know, so, you know,
Now it's just more people doing it.
right. I mean, it's in, you think about it. When people are doing it on the radio, they're hiding behind their microphone. On the internet, they're hiding behind a keyboard. That's all
Yep.
there. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm about to get off of here because we're about to go do the scanner.
Hey, right on, man. Well, I appreciate you coming by, Sunfish, man. I don't really get a lot of people coming to the stream and watching, so I really appreciate you coming in and hanging out, man. I really do.
Hey, dude, like I really appreciate you and Dirty Diaper for like really kind of helping me out with this adventure that I'm dabbling into. Like it really means a lot to me. It really does. Like
Well, like I said, like for instance, like questions and stuff like that. Um, yeah,
I
hold
know
on.
I
Now I
sent
think
you a
about it. Now
message.
I was like going to say, I was like for instance, if you got any questions, like if I can answer, I'll help you out. And like for instance, if we were happen to be up on a live or whatever, like it's dark out now, but like if I'm live or whatever when the daytime's out, I can go out and like kind of show you around what I've got going on outside. When it comes out my tower and different antennas and stuff. I got a bunch of different antennas and stuff like that. I can show you what I got and da 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 and all that kind of shit and give you some
Well,
ideas.
what I really would like to do is like I kind of want to promote your channel on my channel. Like one night, like you just come in and like talk
Okay,
about what you do.
right on. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I don't think I've been up on your panel yet. I've just kind of sat in the chat, so um, right on. Yeah, I don't mind. Um, I've been trying to get like people like it'd be kind of cool. I haven't been able to do it yet or convince them into do it. Like get like popcorn and dirty diaper and a couple of these other guys that do stuff on YouTube, but it's all like CB related, and get a bunch of us all on a panel and talk about radio stuff like we do on the radio anyway. You know what I mean? And I just haven't been able to get it done yet. One of these
Well,
days, I want to.
maybe we can make that happen. You know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to get a bunch of us guys just hanging out and kind of talking radio shit. You know what I mean? On a panel. Um, and then on top of that, it actually can be educational too, because whoever's like all the people that are like watching it, they might be able to learn some of the stuff. Especially if you get a bunch of these guys that have been, doing it and using it for many years, have learned a few tricks of the trade type of thing. You know what I mean? Um, there's different things that you should be aware of so you don't like blow up your equipment. You know what I mean? For instance, there's and I can talk from experience. I know what not to do because I've blown shit up. You know what I mean?
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
okay,
Oh
if you don't want this blown up, don't do that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Oh yeah, I've been there.
but anyway, man, like I said, I appreciate you coming by, and yeah, I mean, I'm gonna float around I'll probably shut it down myself too, and I'll kind of like float around and see who's live, and maybe catch up on some other videos that I haven't been able to watch and stuff, and
Well, next time that you go live, we will collab. Set up a like, not like I don't really do dates or nothing like that. I don't really set that kind of stupid stuff. I just go off the limb.
do you have my email?
No,
Do you do email?
I can.
Okay, well, I'm just saying you can email me and stuff like that also, or like for instance, if like for instance, um, what I can do with StreamYard, for instance, I can like say I'm going live, like at a certain time or something like that,
Yeah.
and I can send you the StreamYard link, and you can come backstage. We wouldn't be broadcasting live; we'll be sitting backstage before the stream even starts. If you want to do something like that, we can do that. Kind of like sit backstage, kind of talk about whatever, and then whenever I want to or whatever, we can just sit there and just push it, go live, and go from there or whatever. I don't know, man. That's the thing I like about StreamYard. We got the backstage thing. We don't have to be broadcasting live at all. We can be just sitting backstage having the same talk. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more private. Don't have to worry about my channel getting struck and all that other shit. You know.
Well, I just sent you a message in there. That's my number. So.
Oh, right on, right on. All right, cool. Here, I'll go ahead and put that down. I think about it.
Makes it a lot more fucking easier.
All right. Well, I'll send you like a a picture or something like that, and so you got my
Then
number.
we'll just collab and stuff like that, and then we'll get your channel. Like, because I want to, like, that'd be awesome. Like, what you want to do, like, that would be awesome.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this: you're not the only one that is either getting back into it or just getting into it the first time. So I mean,
Yeah.
um, and then on top of that, a lot of people are getting this prepper type of a mentality, so they're thinking about comms and communications and shit.
Yeah.
And this is another, that's more my speed. I'm not like I'm not a damn special forces guy. I'm more of a comm guy. You know what I mean? So, um, but unfortunately, like in war, a comm guy is one of the first ones to get shot. Unfortunately, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
You think about it, they always go for the head dude and the comm guy, and then everybody else is just kind of like lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to stop communication.
Right. You know. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. I'll send you a text or a picture or something like that, so you got me over there, and I'll get back up with you, man. All right.
All right. All right. Later, brother.
Later, y'all.
Later, chat.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody came in tonight. UK Transparency and Indy and Snook and Polar, and man, I appreciate all you guys from coming in, man. I really do. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. I got pretty much nothing but a little bit of the locals coming in, but I'm gonna go do my rounds around YouTube. I'll catch all you guys on the flip. This is the 1122 Wingnut. I am your host for Anarchy Television.